Armchair.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Armor Cokes?
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub cup. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Chief, what do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Armchair.
YouTube Live?
Radio station.
The radio station you can call your own. Do you know what listeners like about our station?
I like everything. It's always on my radio.
We never stop the music, except for now, when I talk.
Hey, Braves Country, Mac Magee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
For me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
Because he's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man. Yeah, the armchair quarterback. He's kind of fun and he's kind of fat. The all-American man. Well, if you stand and block the screen, you may just lose your life. And that goes for all 30 friends and 30 friends' wives. And then the din falls silent. We just need a yard or two. They wouldn't change that channel now if the Rockettes came on new.
Hey, Braves Country, Mac Magee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager. All that. Hey, Braves. Hey, Braves Country, Mac Magee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA. Good morning, everybody. Always late. Trying to set this thing up. It's got things got to get easier in radio world. That's all I can tell you, Doug. How are you this morning, my friend?
I'm doing good.
Robert says, I feel like I have a good this season. I think he means a good team this season. Welcome in, Robert. Welcome in, Justin. A few of the other folks that I can't see. I see that you're over in the other channels that we have streaming as well. I just can't make it out on screen. For us to be able to acknowledge you, you're going to have to be on the Braves Country Radio, where you need a membership to watch it live for us to answer your questions. Every once in a while, Jason will send me an inbox to let me know what someone is saying on another channel, but I can't guarantee it. So if you want us to actually talk about what you want to talk about, in other words, fantasy questions or picks against the spread, you need to become a member today. It's only $2.99 a month. I mean, come on, 30 cents a day. Come on. No, 10 cents a day. 10 cents a day. What the hell am I talking about? See. Yeah, man. Who is it? Someone who's bringing it up early. Is it Justin Carter last night? What a chump, man. What a chump. He's going to wear that. I think he's probably going to get suspended. Don't you, Doug?
I would think so. The ejection all but tells you they're going to suspend him.
Yeah, amen. Like there's nothing that you can do or say that would tell me that you're going to be able to get away with that kind of nonsense, because the NFL is trying to crack down on basically sportsmanship, and that, I mean, dude, spitting on somebody. Ugh. I mean, not only do you look like a chump, but what a disgusting human being Jalen Carter is. And for him to act like it was no big deal just tells you a lot about his lack of class across the board. I mean, to spit on somebody in real world, that's going to get you cut. You know what I mean? You do that in a bar or something, someone's going to come across you with the freaking broken beer bottle. I mean, honestly, you spit on me, you better go ahead and make your plans. Hope you get everything sewn up, because you're about to meet your maker. That is not something I could ever go, oh, it's okay, man, I know you got mad. No. Not only would I kick your ass then, that every time I saw you, I would be kicking. Every time I even thought about you, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to go over his house one more time. What's that clip that I've got? You know, imagine you doing that, and 10 years later, I run into you in aisle 3 at Walmart. Well, it's going to be clean up on aisle 3, because I'm telling you right now, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Are you kidding? I would train my kids to beat your kids up for generations to come.
It's the same reason why I will never, ever, ever accept Roberto Alomar into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in my book. And then what made it worse is he did that fake crap where he tried to say that it was over something else and blah, blah, blah. And then come to find out he was talking trash about the umpire's kid who I guess had cancer or something. But that's 30 years ago, or however long it was, 25 years ago. But Roberto Alomar will always be trash to me because he split on that umpire.
Look, they're already trying to say in this game. If you look, if you read the headlines, there are people trying to say he wasn't really trying to spit on him.
Oh,
already.
Come on! The video's there.
Yeah,
we got this Zapruder film. Don't try to gaslight me.
Exactly. Because it's the one thing I remember about this game.
You don't have you ever accidentally spit a loogie on somebody?
No. Well, I didn't see you there.
Yeah. I might have accidentally hit myself if I'm standing out in the wind or something. Go, man, but I didn't accidentally spit on somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you accidentally spit me good. Well, I accidentally shivved you. That's a response. I accidentally kicked your kneecap through. Anyways, I'll get off that. And you're just thinking about that. They're not the only two who've ever done it, but the Roberto Alomar thing still boils my blood to this day. I still can't believe that people forgave him for that. They'll forgive him for that, put him in the Hall of Fame, but God forbid Kurt Schilling says anything that's not politically correct. What are we doing? Anyways, just a microcosm of society. All right. We go ahead and get into our picks. I'll put it up on the screen. This is week 1. This has nothing to do with yesterday. I was telling Doug that I did hit my NFL pick yesterday. I had the Cowboys plus 8.5. They covered. Got a little dicey at the end because I was a little concerned if you caught the tail end of the game. I woke up at the very tail end of the game. So if you it got a little dicey where they broke through for a first down, I'm like, I swear to God, this is right after they made their final first down. Like, if they run the ball up the middle and they let them score because they think that's the best way to win, I'm going to lose it because it was a 4-point lead. And if they would have ran and scored, it would have made it 11, with the idea of the Cowboys thinking, hey, we let them score, we get the ball back with a little over a minute left, we could score a touchdown and get the onside kick. So all this stuff starts going through your head. Go, man, please, for the love of all that's holy, do not score on this drive. And they did not. They held. But I got to give the Cowboys credit. They looked good. Their offense looked good. Their defense didn't look outstanding, but it got better after the rain delay break. And I think that was just adjustments. I think if there's never any rain, the Cowboys' chances of winning that game was much higher. But for people who wanted to throw dirt on the Cowboys because they traded away one defensive lineman, I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. That offense is going to sizzle like I expected this year. I think the defense will be good enough to keep them in the conversation all year long. I'm not going to say they're definitely going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be this sad sack of crap that everybody thinks they're going to be like 6-11, right? 5-12, which is what we were being sold. I don't buy it. What say you, Doug?
I'm not being sold at all. Not at all.
Great analysis, buddies.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, man. Give me something. Wake up.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right. Anyways, this is why I'm the Michael Jordan and you're what? I wouldn't even say Scottie Pippen on the team. You're what's the guy's name? Paxson, sitting in the you just sit in the corner and wait for me to toss you an open three. Jesus, man, wake up. All right, let's get into now. This is the college football show, but we do react to the NFL on Friday mornings for obvious reasons. But we're gonna pivot to the college football real quick, though. I do want to ask you the draft that we just had yesterday with the team, with the Radio Land and all the people here in on the Braves Country Radio channel. How do you feel about your team?
It's okay. I mean, considering I had the draft and drive at the same time, I'm not bad. Not bad.
Well, I'm sorry, but you got to get your priorities together. You need to pull over. Pull over. Well,
that's okay, baby. That's okay. That's okay. I still think it's a pretty good football team overall.
You think you had it bad? I had to host a show in draft, which is impossible. I actually drafted one too many tight ends. I didn't know until after the damn draft. I
did the same thing.
I ended up making the change. I ended up picking up a defense afterwards. But I was even talking about it, and for some reason, I didn't think that I got Tyler Warren on one of the turns. Mm-hmm. So I was going and getting a third tight end. I thought he was my second tight end. He was literally just going to be backup. Ferguson.
Yeah.
For Dallas because I have Dak as my quarterback. Man, I'm glad I didn't start him. No touchdowns last night, which is a little shocking. 188 yards. But CD Lamb, he went out and had a good night. I know he didn't get the end zone, but he had 110 yards receiving, and he had 7 receptions. And so that gets me off to a pretty good start. Who am I playing in this league week 1? Someone who's got a whistle. They're Mark. He's even phoned in his freaking name. His what do you call it? His
moniker.
Yeah, the profile. I want to call it profile picture, but that's not what they call it. The avatar for his name. That's what they call it. But anywho, I've got he started somebody last night because he's got a small lead on me. He got Jalen Hurts. So of course, when you're in a shallow league like this, you know you're probably going up against one of these guys. Like one of these guys that go off, because we have a couple of shallow leagues, and I'm like, the chances of me dodging all the guys that went off last night are very, very, very rare. It looks like I went in the league that we're going to be doing year 30. We finally calculate this year was year 29. Year 30 is next year. I went up against CD Lamb. And how does he have more? It says that he's got 37 points, but I only see CD Lamb on the board. He didn't start one of the defenses, so I don't get that. Collusion. I tell you, it's collusion. Anywho, that's weird. He doesn't have anybody else in the lineup, but he's got an extra 20 points.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a miscalculation by Yahoo this morning. I'm going to go to the actual thing itself. Well, now it's showing Smith and Saquon. That's weird. It's not showing it in the when I go to his team. It's not showing. Oh, there it is. It finally shows up. That's weird. I went to his team. It didn't show the points given for the guys. I went to the matchup.
Yeah.
It does. And now I go back and it shows. Okay, so I went up against I went up against 3 guys last night. His defense, Barkley, and Devontae Smith. And I'm only trailing by 20, which isn't bad at all. All I had was CeeDee Lamb. All right, let's go ahead and get into college football because I can sit here and talk fantasy football all day long. Allow me. And then we got the playoffs. I've got a pretty good lead on PJ, but I don't count any chickens until they're hatched. But in our dynasty money league, I've got a 100+ point lead on him going into the weekend, and I've got quite a few starters. So,
I'm sitting here getting choked out by a guy who only won 4 baseball games all damn season.
Dude, do you know why that happened? Once we did the math and realized that he could make it in by just getting the 6th spot and not having to, because the other 2 teams were so bad in the trophy league, he just did the bare minimum to get in. That's Jason, the one. And so we've been working in collusion last few weeks. And I'm like, dude, don't sweat it, man. I'm telling you, with about 8 weeks to go, he'd pretty much sewn up with 4 wins. He had sewn up the playoff spot.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here this week, pitchers dying all over the place, and I'm in a death struggle after killing myself for 17 wins this season.
Yeah, my baseball team, man, I'm doing pretty good. I got a 113 point lead going into the weekend.
That's not bad at all.
This is the Dynasty League, and I have 3 today. I think I have a couple of pickups. I have 1 pickup left. Debating on whether to do it or just to not do it, because sometimes you make a pickup and it can be for the worse when you're swinging for the fence and you end up getting -6.
Mm-hmm.
Every option that's out there this weekend is really, really wonky. They're guys who give up a lot of runs from time to time. But I've got 4 tomorrow, and then I got a full slate on Sunday. I think I've got all 7 or 8 pitchers going. Yeah, I've got all 7. And then I got Bubba Chandler, who's probably going to piggyback on Sunday morning. But I've got another guy that I picked up just in case Brandon Sproat is going to make his major league debut for the Mets against Cincinnati on Sunday. Makes me a little nervous because he's on the road, but what the hell? He's a rookie. He's going to be nervous wherever the hell he goes, right?
Yep.
That to me is going to be an interesting one. He's got pretty good numbers in the minors. He has given up a lot of runs. So if I don't have to use, I'm not going to, because I don't want to risk runs given up in Cincinnati when it's warm. Blech. Freaking Great American Small Park. Blech. No, thank you. I've got a full. I'm hoping. Here's my quandary, Doug. I've got 7 guys slated to pitch on Sunday. Do you think all 7 pitch, or do you think about 4 of them get bounced to money? Because it always happens this time of year. That's why I don't even like to assume I'm getting a 2-start week out of a pitcher on the final week of the playoffs, because they always get bumped. I'm looking at like Clayton Kershaw, Davis Martin, maybe even Morales, guys that like their team's not really playing for anything. I mean, Kershaw is to a degree, but they got a 6-man rotation, so they could slide Ohtani, and it's my concern there. But the guys who their teams aren't really playing for anything, and you end up with an absolute S show because they're like, well, we'll pitch him Tuesday. Oh, we're going to skip him this week. That's laundry. Anyway,
you'll lose 3 of them.
I think I will too. I think I'll lose at least 3. I'll be thrilled if 5 of the 7 pitch. That's why I picked up the extra guy who's definitely making his debut on Sunday, because I'm like, man, someone's going to bounce, and there's nothing really all that exciting on the wire today or tomorrow. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into the college football slate. Got a lot to do and a little time to do it. And what we'll be doing is giving you our 6-pack. We're going to give you our locks, our stupid underdogs. I think that's it. I don't think I'm forgetting anything as we get into this. Let's go and get the stupid underdog out of the way.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's the one I'm most likely to forget about. So let's go ahead and hit that. Hello.
There's no need to fear.
Stupid
Underdog is here.
Stupid underdog. Stupid underdog.
All right, here's hoping you don't take my stupid underdog because I texted some to myself, so I'm reading it off my phone. And Bobby, damn it, Bobby's stupid underdog. I got to get him to text it to me. I feel like if you pick it, I'll know it.
Okay.
See here. What is your stupid underdog today, sir?
I am going to take Michigan over Oklahoma plus 5.5.
Man, that sounds familiar. Did he take that game or did he take that as a stupid underdog? I'll wait for him to show up. As of right now, you've got it.
Okay.
I swear that sounds familiar. He did something with Michigan and Oklahoma. Give me a backup one just in case.
Okay. I'll take
He did. He took Michigan. It's on the other side of my card. He took Michigan, and his lock is the Dolphins.
His lock is the Dolphins.
All
right. Well, you know what? I'll take give me Virginia plus 3.5 over to win to beat North Carolina State.
What time is that game?
I'll
find it. Don't worry about it.
I'll find it because that was a quick off my head backup.
I thought you had it in front of you. Let me see here. Virginia, UVA plus 3.5, and Bobby has Michigan plus 5.5. I'm going to stay in the state of North Carolina. Give me Charlotte plus 13.5. And they're going up against North Carolina. And they both got pummeled in the first game. This is a shot in the dark, but I'm just looking at it as North Carolina is going to Charlotte, North Carolina. They are playing. I'm pretty sure that's the stadium that the Panthers play in, Jerry Richardson Stadium. I'm almost positive that's their stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to be in Charlotte. They're getting 13.5. I figure bare minimum I'm going to cover the spread. North Carolina looked horrific. They did not look like that they have been being coached over the last several months by a 6-time Super Bowl champion. I don't think he's got any of the respect of his players. I think it's a major problem. I think you're going to see North Carolina not even make a bowl game this year. I don't think that was a one-off against TCU the other night, 48-14. It could have been worse. These are losses I have on the North Carolina slate. I don't think they're going to beat UCF, but let's say they do. Clemson's going to beat them. They're going to lose at Syracuse. And they've got an easy schedule, honest engine. But they're still not going to win enough games. This is a layup. They should be able to get into the playoffs. They have Richmond next week. Then they have UCF. They get into the ACC schedule. Clemson at Cal, at Syracuse, at Wake Forest, Duke, at NC State. I mean, they're not playing any of the big boys. They don't play Florida State. They don't play Miami. And they're still not going to make a bowl game.
Yeah, you can forget about that Duke game. Duke's way superior to them.
That's an interesting game, Duke and Illinois tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our picks because those I do have. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and give you my lock since we just talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and take Illinois on the money line against Duke tomorrow. It's down to a -140. If you want to take the point spread, you can get it at -2 or 2.5, depending on the book.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this Illinois team. This is not anything against Duke per se, but I did watch the Duke game against Elon the other night. I feel like, first of all, Elon Musk has enough on his slate without having to field a football team too. But Elon, they were in it with Duke the entire game. It wasn't until the very end there was a miscue by Elon. Don't ask me why I'm watching. I just put it on. We got this new box. I wanted to see if it got it. It got it. I left it on. The next thing I know, I'm like locked into watching this thing because I knew what the point spread was. I didn't take the game, but I knew what it was, and I was curious to see if they covered. And I think they barely missed covering, even though they got a special teams touchdown in the last part of the quarter, of the fourth quarter. I think Illinois is just gonna be more. The only thing concerns me, A, it's on the road, and B, it's a noon kickoff, and those are usually tricky for college football teams. But even with all that being said, that's going to be my lock of the week.
I agree with you there.
You can give me your lock now, or you can wait till later. Bobby took the Miami Dolphins +1.5 against the Colts.
Okay.
Normally we wait till the end to do the lock, but because you just mentioned the game, I figure I'd go ahead and get it out there.
That's fine. Let me my lock. Give me Ole Miss and those 10.5 points against Kentucky.
Ole Miss.
And
You know what's interesting about that game, because I was looking at it last night on the Hard Rock. This is only if you're in Florida, although they probably have the same lines throughout the country if you have Hard Rock. I'm not sure if they might be manipulating them. That line's down to 8.5, so you're getting Ole Miss -8.5. Is that what you're taking?
Yeah, it was 10.5 last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and that doesn't make sense to me.
Somebody put money on Kentucky because I was going to bring that, but I didn't know if it was that way on the ESPN bet, but it is. That moved 1.5 to 2 points depending on the book since when we did the game when we did the show yesterday. I had the show that comes out of Vegas on in the background, and they were referencing that game like mid-afternoon, and somebody put some money on Kentucky for the line to go down that much.
Well, I have to ask those people putting that money, did you watch Kentucky play Toledo last night? Or the last week, I should say? Kentucky has nothing that resembles an offense whatsoever. I mean, Kentucky's a bad football team this year. And Ole Miss, this is a revenge game because you got to remember last year it was Kentucky that upset Ole Miss, that kept Ole Miss out of the playoffs last year. So they're looking for payback, and Lane Kiffin loves to run up the style points.
Yeah, Brian's talking about the where Dak spit at Carter first. I don't think that's true. All the video that I saw didn't have that. Now, maybe that's true, but I don't think it is. I'll have to wait to see how that, because they analyzed the hell out of it this morning on 2 different stations, and nobody brought up Dak spitting first. So be careful what you see on the interwebs. Okay. Wouldn't surprise me if someone had gone to work on Photoshop with Dak. We'll see what happens. At his feet. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I learned a long time ago not to believe everything that's being texted to me in chats. Okay, back to what's important, which is who covers the spread. Regardless, he's going to get suspended.
Yeah,
he should get suspended at least one game. Yeah, I'm not even going to sit here and try to defend that. Jalen Carter, trash human being, trash. That's what it is. Okay, let's go ahead and I know he went to an SEC school. I think he's a Georgia guy. That's got nothing to do with your team affiliation. If you like Georgia, it's not a representative of your school. I don't think Kirby Smart taught him how to do that. But remember, Carter had some issues coming out. He had some issues coming out. He fell down the damn draft board because of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that he's a trash human being really isn't a shocker.
Nope.
Okay. College football slate. I guess we'll just go back and forth on this.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug, give me your first pick on the college football slate. Tell me when they're kicking off and why you like them.
They're kicking off at 7:30 on ESPN, and that is Michigan, Oklahoma. As I just said a few moments ago, I believe Michigan's going to cover that 5.5-point spread. Michigan's got too good of a defense. I think they'll wear Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma's got a good defense. I think it's going to be a low scoring, but I think Michigan's going to prevail.
Well, this is where we're going to differ. And I know you got Bobby on your side too. But I think Oklahoma is a better team than Michigan. I think Michigan's fool's gold, and I don't think 5.5 is enough to cover. I do agree that it's going to be a low-scoring game, so you might get me on the points, but I do believe Michigan's going to win that game. Oklahoma. Oklahoma, they're kind of going under the radar. They didn't play anybody week one. It was Illinois State, so I get that. And when you look at Michigan and how they started their season off, it wasn't a marquee game either. It was 34-17 against New Mexico. But they struggled, and I get it. It's the first week, so you got to put all that aside. But they struggled against a bad New Mexico team. And they're going to really struggle on the road, I think, because Oklahoma, you got a guy who's coaching for his life out there, number one. Number two, going into the season, I did not think Michigan was a very good team. And I took the season long under on them. Their over-under win total is 8.5, and I don't think they get to 9 games. And this is one of the reasons why they play road matchups that I think are going to be difficult to win. So I'm going the opposite direction. Only one of us can win, right? Because it's a plus 5.5. We can't even push. So I'm assuming Bobby. No, Bobby didn't take that as one of his picks, even though it's his lock. So we already have head-to-head where we don't agree, so this ought to be fun. All right, where are you going on your second game?
Next on Fox at noontime, we've got Iowa and Iowa State.
I got an opinion on that one, but it's probably not the same one you have. So, I don't think I'm going the same direction you are. Go ahead.
I'm going in the direction that Iowa's going to win this football game. Plus 3.5, only because I watched that stink fest at Iowa State. What was it, Kansas State game in Ireland? Mm-hmm. And the thing that I got out of it, Iowa State I thought played average. It was just that Kansas played so badly. So looking at from that perspective, I see Iowa. Iowa's won the last 6 of these games. So I'm taking Iowa.
I don't hate that, but I'm going a different direction. I think it's going to be when these two teams play, it tends to end up being a rock fight.
Yep.
And a lot of people probably don't realize this, but it's actually a really intense rivalry.
Oh,
now, if you're not from the Iowa area, you're like, what? Hawkeyes, Cyclones, what? If you're from the South, you know, most people in the South, we kind of live with our heads up our ass when it comes to college football. Let's be honest. We're very familiar with the SEC rivalries. When it comes to the rivalries up there, you don't think anything of it. This is an intense rivalry. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. And I think two things can be true. I think they can cover your spread, but also Iowa does not reach 20 points. Right now, their over-under for a team total is 19.5. I'm taking Iowa's under. because the total in the game is 42.5. And if I wanted to really hedge, I would go, all right, Iowa's, just take the under at 42.5. But I specifically don't think Iowa can score. They've never been able to score. And Iowa State's 2-0. They're at home. This game's going to be huge for them because they're trying to end that losing streak. I still feel like I don't feel strong enough to take either one on the point spread. I would probably lean with you if I was going to. 3.5's a lot in a low scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
Because if, let's say, Iowa and Iowa State do stay under the 42.5 mark, which is being projected from the boys out in the desert,
right?
You're still talking about there's a very good possibility that Iowa wins this, or Iowa State or Iowa wins this one 20-17 or 19-16, 19. 20 points is going to be a lot in this game unless there's big time turns. It's also supposed to be pretty cool and it's supposed to be pretty windy up there too. That's my other reasoning. The high is supposed to be below 60 and it's supposed to be kind of windy. This just leads to, I think we're going to have a 3-0 game at halftime. I think I'll be playing with house money at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it doesn't go to overtime. That'd be my only bugaboo. All right, what is your next game?
All right, we got 3:30 on ESPN. We got Ole Miss and Kentucky. And with that game, to me, the safe bet is take Kentucky's team total at under 20.5. I believe it is.
Kentucky's team total under 20.5.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Let me look at that. I don't have that available for me on the. I wish they would put that more available on the ESPN website. So I'll have to go to Hard Rock to verify that. It sounds about right. I just want to make sure I'm not telling people the wrong things because we do see these lines jump all the time.
Yeah.
Kentucky. Did Ole Miss losing Jackson Dart doesn't concern you about going to Kentucky and Stoops and his defense at all?
No, because after what I saw with Toledo last week, I'm basing this entire pick of how poorly they played last week against Toledo. Yes, they won, but it wasn't it had a lot of stink to it.
I mean, first of all, Ole Miss. First of all, can we address something about and we're not gonna have time to do it today, but we're starting next week. I'll start giving you my top 12. How the hell is Florida State number 14 in the country after the big win against Alabama? But everybody wants to pat Miami on the back. What was the other team? LSU, because they beat a top 10 team.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Florida State didn't start in the top 25, they still beat a top 10 team, and they beat them soundly. So what the hell is that about?
That's hedging the bet that it was a fluke. That's telling every FSU fan that was what you did was a fluke. That's how I take it anyway.
All right, so you're taking Ole Miss under 19.5. I'll just have to take your word for it because it's not popping up. Where are you finding that number at?
I found that number last night. It may have been because I was looking for it. I couldn't find it on ESPN. I believe I took that from MGM. Was the only place I could find anything like that. I didn't look at Hard Rock either.
I think it's got to be higher than that. I'm just saying because of the.
No, I'm saying Kentucky's team total is 20.5, not Ole Miss's.
I know, but we're just gonna go with 19.5. The reason why I say it is the total is 50. The spread is 8.5.
Right.
Logic would tell you it's probably higher than 19.5, but that's what we'll take it at is 19.5. Okay, my next pick, the South Florida game. I believe is that a night game? No, well, late afternoon, 4:15 on the SEC network. Florida's 17.5 point favorite. I'm not even touching that. I'm touching the fact that you can get the over under now at 55.5. And I'm taking that. Florida is going to give up points, but they are going to also create a lot of points. And the same thing with South Florida. I don't see South Florida. If you put my feet to the fire and say, which side are you going on? Just because we don't know if that South Florida win was a fluke, I would probably take Florida minus the 17.5. But it would not shock me at all if South Florida covered that game. I actually thought about it as a stupid underdog, but I was like, nah, you're going to the well too many times on that. We'll just leave the Gators alone. But that game is in the Swamp. 4:15 kickoff. Should be pretty good crowd and also good weather. I just think that's going to be an old-fashioned shootout. You could get over the total before midway through the third quarter in that one. All right. Royals always cussing Florida and Jacksonville, but she moved down here. Like, if you hate the state so much, get that one, kick rocks. All right.
Yeah.
Although I have to agree with beat Florida. The Gators, not the other team in the state. Well, screw the Hurricanes too while we're at it. Okay. So what game are you going to for pick number 4?
Pick number 4. It's kind of a weird game, but I think it's going to be a really high scoring game. And that is UAB and Navy, 3:30 on CBS. The over and under is at 59.5, and I think it's going to be over. I think Navy by themselves probably could score 60 on them.
Man, UAB and Navy. And what line did you get? Sorry.
Oh, it was the over under is at 59.5, and I'm taking the over.
Okay. Over 59.5.
Yeah, Navy on their own, I think it's going to put up 60 points.
Tell you a team to stay away from. Army sucks this year. I watched the first Army game of the season. Oh man. They lost that quarterback, and I knew they had, but I figured that they had kind of built something the last few years and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Army is trash.
Well,
they lost to Tarleton State. Tarleton State at home. And I'm pulling for Army, right? Because when in doubt, I always pull for Army or Navy or Air Force because, come on, we're Americans. But I'm watching that game, and I'm like, man, I don't know how the hell they got it to overtime. It went to overtime, and they ended up losing in overtime. Army's in for a long day tomorrow. They're at Kansas State.
Yeah, they're giving up 17 points, and I'd take that bet.
I probably would, but it's not one of my picks because Kansas State kind of laid an egg out there in Ireland. They beat North Dakota, but they beat North Dakota by a field goal. So,
yeah.
I'm very clear of that thing, but I'm telling you right now, I am off the Army bandwagon this year. I usually pay attention to them quite a bit because I do the Army-Navy game at the end of the year. It's the only football game I'm doing anymore nowadays. So I watch them, so I know what I'm looking at, and I hope they turn around and are a much better team by the end of the season. But, man, they looked horrific against a bad team. My next pick, my 4th pick, is we're going to go ahead. I'm going to we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Southeastern Conference. And let's see what the line is today. Why is the SEC not popping up on ESPN? ESPN does nothing but give tongue baths to the SEC, and I can't find an SEC. All right, we'll go to top 25. They're still in the top 25, hanging on with their fingernails. Giving the Alabama Crimson Tide minus 34.5 at home against Louisiana Monroe. And I know people go, oh, man, they went into a very tough environment. Everybody that went there, and I'm not just talking about the national pundits, and I'm not just talking about Florida State people. I'm talking about people who have nothing to do with Florida State or Alabama that wanted to go to that game to see the new stadium. They all talked about that environment, how electric it is, how loud it is. That's a young quarterback at Alabama that everybody's like overreacting to one loss. I think they're going to right the ship. It's a night game in Tuscaloosa. They're giving up 34.5 points. I think Alabama's going to roll. I think Alabama's going to put up at least 50, and I don't think their defense is going to give up much. To be fair, Louisiana Monroe is undefeated. They beat St. Francis 29-0. I don't know why St. Francis was taking on the entire Louisiana Monroe by himself, but he did, and he only gave up 29 points.
As well he should.
What's your next pick?
All right. My next pick, going back to that Illinois Duke game. It's 12 p.m. on ESPN. And I'm going to take the money line. I'm going to take Illinois on the money line. Minus 150, right at that cusp.
Say that again.
I'm taking Illinois on the money line.
Okay, so you're doubling up on my pick. Gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
Illinois money line. I thought that's what you said. I got to glitch or something. It wasn't on your end. It was on mine. Illinois money line. So that was my lock. In case you're just joining us, my NFL lock yesterday was the Cowboys. So I went ahead and it's already hit that one. But my next pick is, you know what? I'm not going to go in order because it's sitting right in front of me. I can look at it. The Texas Longhorns. The Texas Longhorns, their team total is 41.5. They're at home against San Jose State after a loss. ABC, that's on ABC. Why the hell is that on ABC? San Jose State, really? All right. ABC kickoff, noon kickoff for ABC is Texas versus San Jose State for some odd reason. I think the Longhorns are going to roll. I think everything they get a chance to improve. By the way, they only fell to number 7 in the country. So for people to think they're going to have some big free fall, that's the Disney brand right there. They fell to number 7. They did not look great, but I think they're going to put points up. I think their defense is going to create points and create short fields, and every chance that Sark has to run that score up and make Arch look good, he's going to do it. So give me Texas to clear the 41.5 point mark. All right, what's your next pick?
All right, this is like my goofy who cares pick of the week, but I got James Madison in Louisville. And that is tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN or Sling or Fubo if you stream on those services. I've got the over. I'm taking the over in this game at 55.5. Neither one of the
Fubo?
Yeah, it's on Fubo too. What's that?
Showing ESPN too, no?
Oh. They were showing it. They were showing it right here. I guess you can stream it from Fubo and Sling as well.
Well, yeah, you can stream it from anything, but you have to have ESPN too.
ESPN, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. What are you going on this one?
I'm going the over at 55.5. I think there's just going to be massive amounts of points scored in this game. Louisville doesn't have much of a defense, and James Madison doesn't either. But they both have decent offense. And these are two schools that, believe it or not, they hate each other. So I think they're both going to try and run up as many points as they can.
Was that your 6th pick? I want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I had. I want to make sure. I kind of ran out of room. I got this little piece of paper right here. I've got all of our picks front and back. I chose poorly. Okay. My last pick. See what the line is. Make sure it hasn't moved. And we're going to go to, this is an ACC SEC clash, and 7:30 on the ACC network, Virginia Tech money line, which I'm getting right now at a minus 140. They are at home against Vanderbilt. And I get that Virginia Tech lost the first game. First of all, Vanderbilt, Charleston Southern, 45-3. We learned nothing, right? But Vanderbilt was pretty good last year. So I'm not dogging Vanderbilt. What I am saying to you is that they did not get a real true test to start the season. And I felt like Virginia Tech did. For most people probably watched it on Sunday, the South Carolina Virginia Tech game. South Carolina ended up winning that game going away 24-11. But if you watch that game, it was nip and tuck the whole way. There was a turnover late that flipped the script. And if they played that game 10 times, Virginia Tech's probably winning 5 of them. It was that close of a game. And I actually think that South Carolina's quarterback's one of the better quarterbacks in the country.
Mm-hmm.
He was extremely impressive, but he was doing it all by himself. Virginia Tech is going to put pressure on Vanderbilt, and they're at home. It's in Blacksburg, a night game, all that stuff. I'm not taking Vanderbilt. Come on, what are we doing? Give me the hokey high. We're the boys from VMI. Give me the Virginia Tech Hokies in what should be a fun game on Saturday night. And unfortunately, I'll be calling baseball because that game. But that game's going to be on in the background. I'm telling you right now, that is going to be a fun ball game. All right. What else have we missed? We got the stupid underdog pick in. We got the locks in. Oh, I know we got to do one big thing. What is your one big thing as we walk it off today, sir?
One big thing is just a question. Did Notre Dame forget that they were supposed to have the number 1 rushing offense in football? Barely ran 40% of the time in that game against Miami.
Is what happened. Well, I mean,
what?
I see you got your ass handed to you by Miami. That's what happened. Miami's defense is better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, because they gassed that offensive line all night long. You could look at Notre Dame's offensive linemen between plays. They were gassed. I mean, we made the game good, but I just don't understand why we didn't run the ball more. At least try to, anyway.
What's your one big thing that's going to happen this weekend? Not one big thing that happened last week.
I'll tell you the one big thing. One big thing. My son makes his starting debut for his varsity football team. He's a starting free safety. That's my one big thing for this week.
Oh wow! Is that
playing for the? He plays for his school, the Dixie County Bears. Playing, I believe we're playing Bell tonight.
That's down there in your neck of the woods, right?
Yep.
Are you at home tonight, or are y'all on the road?
We're on the road to Bell.
Okay. Well, good luck to him. What year is he?
This is his first year. He's a freshman. This is his first year.
You know, some friends are open books. Doug is a closed book. I've known this guy for like almost 10 years. He's never once mentioned that his son plays football.
Well, he had a hard time at first, so I didn't.
Doug, why would it ever come on? Come on!
Well, he came. I mean, he started. Look, he started playing. He kind of got frustrated with it, but they worked hard all last summer, and he actually made the team. And now he's a starting free safety. So there's more to talk about now.
My one big thing that's going to happen here in the world of college football. First of all, one big thing in the NFL, Jacksonville, Carolina, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, because I didn't get a chance to hit this yesterday. Those are going to be shootouts. Grab the overs on those games. I think they're both going to be shootouts. One big thing in college football this weekend, you don't have a ton of great matchups, but that's pretty regular for week number 2. The teams that took on the big boys in week 1 usually have Cupcake City, and a lot of teams who didn't play anybody in week 1 aren't playing anybody in week 2 because that's who they are. But Michigan, Oklahoma, that's a fun one. You got to give respect to both programs to put that on early here in the year. My one big thing that's going to happen this weekend in college football is you're going to have scares. They may not be actual losses, but you're going to have scares of, not counting the Oklahoma game, you're going to have scares in at least 3 other college football games this weekend because of the letdown factor. And you do have to pay attention to that. Grambling, by the way, is at Ohio State. I mean, that's going to be a slaughter. But you've got games that are under people's radar. I'm going to give you a couple of ones. Okay, Doug? Number 6, Oregon's playing Oklahoma State. They should cruise, but you never know. Oklahoma State, they do have an offense this year, not much of a defense. The Ole Miss Kentucky game, we talked about it. You like Ole Miss, but it is in Lexington. Florida, South Florida, in Gainesville. But South Florida looks like that they're not exactly Cupcake City. And, of course, it's not a top 25 matchup, but I do believe Virginia Tech's going to upset Vanderbilt. And by Monday morning, no one's going to be as concerned about Arch Manning and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Both teams are going to roll, and they're going to roll in a big way. LSU, by the way, Louisiana Tech, that 37.5, don't touch it.
Nope.
LSU is infamous for stubbing their toe against teams they shouldn't stub their toe against. And it'll go from we need to extend to Brian Kelly to fire his ass by Monday morning. All right, y'all. Great job, Doug. We'll see you next time. Y'all have a great day, and we're back on Thursday and Friday mornings. Thursdays with Bobby, Fridays with Doug. We do NFL on Thursdays. On Friday, we do college football, and we'll see you next week.
Armchair.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Arma Cokes?
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub. Really, this is what you're doing?
Chief, what do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Armchair.
YouTube Live.
Radio station.
The radio station you can call your own. Do you know what listeners like about our station?
I like everything. It's always on my radio.
We never stop the music, except for now, when I talk.